Salve Henry, good to be with you here on this Tuesday afternoon. God willing, I'll get this video up today. All right, you're on lesson 18, and in this lesson we're going over adjectives. So these are first and second declension adjectives, meaning they follow the pattern of a first or second declension noun. These adjectives will be declined in three genders: masculine, feminine, and neuter. Okay. Two declensions. Remember, second declension has two genders: male, neuter, and then feminine. And 5 cases. Adjectives have to match nouns in case, number, and gender. Whatever case, number, and gender your noun is, that's what your adjective has to be as well. Okay, and we're going to do some examples here in a bit. When it comes to word order, your book says something very important at the top of page 49. Okay. Adjectives can basically come before or after their noun. It's not a strict rule, but it says here adjectives of quantity or size precede the noun. Adjectives of quality often follow the noun. And then you have some like maltus, altus, and latus. They can be quantity or quality depending on how they're used in the context. Okay? So magnus may be describing the size of something. That would mean it would come before the noun. But it may also be the quality. If you say something is great, it's not necessarily big. You're speaking of its quality, of its nature, its essence. Okay. There are 3 nouns, remember, that they have a first declension grammatical pattern, but they are masculine in their gender. They have a natural gender, and that would be nauta, poeta, and agricola. Pay careful attention to that, because when they go with their noun, remember, they have to match in case, number, and gender. They're not going to look alike, but they are going to match. All right, so those are your adjectives. No new endings you have to learn because they're following patterns you've already learned. Up here on the board, I wrote bonus. This is dictionary form, Henry, okay? This is dictionary form. Bonus, a for the first declension, feminine, if it's neuter, us if it's masculine. What declension you pick, what ending you pick depends on the noun it's going with, right? Adjectives can be in any gender. It just depends on the noun they're modifying. Got to keep that in mind, all right? Okay, so on page 94, you have your word study and your grammar. Between the book and what I've talked about so far, you shouldn't have an issue filling that stuff out. On page 95, you have to do some declensions. And so it's going to give you an adjective, multus, and it wants you to decline it in all 3 genders. Okay? Multus, multa, multum. Decline it in all 3 of its genders, singular and plural. It follows the exact same pattern as bonus on page 48 of your textbook. All right? So that should not be challenging for you. Now, let's look at the second one, good land. On page 95, good land. All right, and they have the first one done for you, terra bona. Now here, let's write this down. Terra bona. Terra bona. Okay, good land. The adjective, you're speaking of its quality, it's good, so it comes after the noun. And we're going to decline it in all its cases. This is easy. Terra, and then follow your first declension pattern because it's a first declension noun. A, is, as, is. I'll do just the singulars for you. So you could put a variety of ways to do this, just the ending. A, with a macron. Write our stem here. Okay, and this is going to decline the exact same way, Henry. No surprises. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, all 5 cases. My M's not very good there, but that's how we do that. You have to do the plurals as well on here, but if you can do singular, you can do the plural. No big deal. Now at the bottom, poeta novus. Poeta novus looks like it doesn't match when indeed it does, because remember, It has to match in case, number, and gender. Does not have to match in declension. I did not say first declension nouns. I have to be with other first declension adjectives, just case, number, and gender. And poeta is masculine, even though it looks like it's feminine with the first declension grammatical form to it. Its natural gender trumps grammatical gender. All right, so poeta, novus, decline that as it is. And then on page 96, you see some nouns and adjectives that you need to translate. They are all in the nominative case. 96, one of those charts that requires you to, those charts can be difficult. They require a lot of information for you to provide. So I'm going to not comment on that. I think you can figure that chart out, but if you have questions or comments, Henry, just FaceTime me. I'll help you out, all right? And then on page 97, you're getting into some translations. Yeah. And derivatives on the last page. All right. I can't think of anything else that needs to be said right now. Give this a shot. You're doing well, Henry. Keep up the good work. But if you have any questions or comments, FaceTime me. Okay, have your mom or your dad, your grandmother, whoever, they can shoot me a FaceTime message and we'll chat about this stuff if you need to. But hopefully this is self-explanatory. I don't think this is a hard lesson. Don't let it intimidate you and you'll do fine. All right, the Lord be with you. Thanks, Henry.